recording? Says it's recording. Okay, little boy, let's do a video. Ugh. So hello, people of YouTube and Vimeo and wherever else I decide to upload this video. A lot's happened since the last video that I put up. In case you haven't checked in for a while, or in case I forgot to say some stuff, well, I had a kid, if you didn't notice. That was almost 6 months ago, so hopefully you've watched the video since then. And also, since October, we've been trying to sell our house in San Diego. And we haven't sold it yet. We signed a deal to get the kitchen redone and everything like that. But what did happen is Kaiser got a job up in Portland at the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry, which is actually really cool. Let's just say I'm from San Diego. We have Balboa Park, which is full of museums. OMSI kind of blows Balboa Park out of the water. I think it's because all the resources are concentrated on one museum, so that one museum is really good instead of like being spread out among a bunch of different museums. Blech. Anyway, so he got a job in Portland, and he kind of wanted to just go up by himself and leave me a baby down in San Diego with the house because he thought it would be easier. But I was like, no, you're not going up there by yourself. We're coming with you. So what we did is we got an apartment up here in Portland. It's actually a pretty nice apartment. It's funny because I'm still so used to San Diego prices that getting a nice apartment here is the price equivalent of, you know, a broom closet in San Diego. And it's funny because there's like, I've been reading the Portland, you know, basically the version of San Diego Reader, but for Portland. And there was one thing talking about how housing prices and stuff are getting blown out the roof because there's so many people coming up from the south, you know, like where I'm from, buying houses for way too high of a price, so it's driving the price up and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm trying not to be, you know, I'm trying not to indulge in that, and hopefully the price for this apartment was fair. Anyway, so I got an apartment, and it's pretty small. It's just, it's a 1-bedroom, but the bedroom is like, there's not even a door between the bedroom and the rest of the house. So, you know, you can hear everything in the whole apartment. But the building is pretty nice. The ceilings are 9 feet tall, so it doesn't feel all claustrophobic and everything. And the building's brand new. It's only been open since May. And it's about 2/3 occupied, they said, so far. I've met several of our neighbors so far. The one nice thing about it is that they don't care about the size of your dog, because we brought Fenris. Fenris, come here. Want to be there? We brought Fenris because, you know, he's got a lot of anxiety, and my parents are still in the old house while the kitchen is being redone, so they can watch all that, you know, make sure it's done. And then after that's done, we're gonna try to sell it again, and if we still can't sell the mofo, we're gonna rent it out until we can, because he doesn't want to be in the video. But anyway, so we brought Fenris, and we drove up here in our little Toyota Yaris in 3 days. Kaiser did most of the driving. Like, I offered, but he's used to it. He's, you know, he's from Pennsylvania. He's driven cross country due to the military and stuff like that, like 3 or 4 times, literally across the country. We did, you know, from San Diego up to Portland. He's done from like New York to San Diego. So the first day was pretty intense. We went from San Diego up to Sacramento, which was about, well, all in all, it was about 10 or 11 hours, and that's because, well, we had to deal with traffic throughout LA, so LA was stop and go almost the whole way. And then we also were stopping off every 1.5 to 3 hours, so that the dog could run around in a dog park, and so I could take care of Link, because it's kind of hard to breastfeed in a moving car. You know, I'm not going to take him out of his car seat and endanger his life just to move in his mouth. Sorry, buddy. I love you. I love you too much to endanger your life just for food. And then the second day was maybe 5 hours, and the third day was only about 3 or 4. And a lot of the first day was after dark, because it's the middle of winter, so it gets dark really early. And it's a good thing Kaiser drove because I have horrible night blindness and probably would have gotten us killed. But it was interesting. I have never, until now, I have never driven farther north than LA. And I briefly went to Canada when I was a teenager, but we flew there and, you know, I don't even remember it. So I have never been this far north, except for that one brief trip. And so we got here at Portland on Friday, December 29th, something like that, 30th. He actually wanted to go before Christmas, but I was like, no, we have to stay and you know, have a goodbye, like go to our friends' Christmas party so we can say goodbye to everybody and everything like that. And then we spent New Year's here, which we were tired. We just stayed here and looked it up online and you know, we got the internet set up right away. Because I'm gonna need it for my stuff. So anyway, so yeah, we moved to Portland and well, I guess I can give you a little bit of a tour of the apartment in a second. We have like no furniture right now because we could only fit, you know, us. It was him and I and baby and dog and one cat in the car, and then, you know, we had to be very selective of what else we brought. So we brought a blow-up bed and one monitor to use as a TV, one PS4 because, you know, I gotta have something to do all day, and the baby's playpen and the baby's jumper. This thing we bought on Amazon, and it's called a Fuff, F-U-F, instead of beanbag chair, and yeah, it's pretty good. I have to fluff it out like almost every day that I want to use it, but other than that, it's a lot more comfortable than sitting on the floor all the time. And there's mud all over the floor because we don't have a mop yet. Most of our stuff, we have almost all our stuff in a storage pod, which we've been doing since October, you know, to try to get the house in San Diego emptied out as much as possible. And so like our couch and, you know, big TV and my computer and all that stuff is in the pod. And so it won't be here for another week or two. However, just in the week that we've been here, well, so I'm home alone today and yesterday and, you know, pretty much every day on from now except for the weekends because of Kaiser's new job. And by home alone, I mean with the animals and the baby. And the weather's also been, apparently for Portland, I don't know this because we're just moved here, but apparently it's been very odd. It's been very cold. And there's actually a winter storm warning for the past weekend, although it wasn't nearly as bad as they were saying. It kind of rained, or it kind of snowed a little bit one day, and then sleet rained the next day, and that was it. The snow was fun. It was pretty much the first time I've ever seen snow. I think when I was a little kid I saw snow once, but it was like several days old and hard packed and gross and bleh. So this was my first time seeing fresh fallen snow, and all the native Portlandiers are like, this weather is so weird. Today was fine actually. It was a little chilly, but it wasn't rainy. It was rainy yesterday. Matthew, sorry, Kaiser, whatever. His last name is Kaiser, his first name is Matthew. Took the streetcar to work because we're literally, he could actually walk to work and he was talking about it, and I was like, no, you're not walking, that's silly. Just to see what it was like, because we brought our car, but the roads up here are crazy. The roads are very weird. They change names sometimes literally like 50 yards. Like there's one road to get up to downtown Portland. You have to go like, and this is one name, this is another name, this is another name. And then like the GPS is always like slight left, and you're like slight left, like there's like 4 lefts and you're like, which one is the slight left? And the highway, yeah, it's just very confusing. Like for instance, last night I made a new friend through a anti-Trump activism Facebook group. I made a new friend who insisted on lending me an extra stroller and baby carrier because ours won't be here until the pod gets here in another week or so, and I wanted to be able to go for long walks with little one and the dog. He's basically a baby. He's more trouble than babies. And so I went to go see her, and she should be like a 5-minute drive, but it was nighttime and it was raining, and I got super duper lost on the way there, and then I got super lost on the way back, even with GPS, because the GPS kept cutting out and just, yeah. So it's gonna take some getting used to the roads here for sure. But I'm excited because now I have the stroller, so now I can go on longer walks because this little guy basically gains a pound every 10 feet. He also tends to cry a lot if I have him in the carrier. I think he just doesn't like being constrained. He wants to boogie. You can't even walk yet. He wants to boogie, although he is sort of crawling now. 5.5 months. And he's been eating solid foods for almost a month. And by solid, I mean like pureed, but yeah, my little superstar. But anyway, so yeah, we moved to Portland. And you're just giggling away. So as far as future videos go, I am not officially going back to work for a while because this guy takes up way too much energy. But I do want to do some stuff. I do want to stay active and creative and stuff like that. Is that so? Is that so, Link? Ow. And so, you know, I have all these various things I want to do. I've talked about them in other videos, but, you know, quick recap. Once the pod comes, I'll get my PS4 camera back, and I would like to start streaming, because what else am I going to do? And I want to start doing more videos. I'm thinking of convincing Kaiser to get Gamefly, so I can try different games pretty often. And I had the idea of, I mean, I know everyone's already done this, but I wanted to start a blog and review different places in Portland that I'm going to try visiting and kind of, you know, give my overall opinion and rate them, like, as far as dog friendliness, because my dog has super bad separation anxiety, so if I leave him home alone in the apartment, he goes crazy. So I kind of have to take him with me, which means either walking distance or driving because you can't take him on the bus. And, you know, like kid friendliness, pricing, what kind of area, you know, is it, what is there to do there? Is it boring? Is it cool? Is it hipstery? Is it, you know, gentrified? What is it? So I thought that would be fun, you know, kind of give me more of a reason to go out than just to go out. I also have been blown away by how friendly a lot of the people I've met here so far. Like I said, I made a new friend and she insisted on like lending me this like $100, $200 stroller. Like she doesn't even know me and she's just like, here, borrow this. I'm like, thank you. And then just like the people meeting them in the elevator, we're on the top floor of our building. It's only 7th floor, but so we go down the elevator every time we walk the dog, so, you know, 4 times a day. And get into these conversations and like get to meet their dogs and, you know, how long have you been here, blah, blah, blah. So it's definitely been quite a difference from just kind of being quietly doing my own thing in my house with not really any friends nearby. And it's only gonna get, hopefully it's only gonna get better as I get to know the area better, as the weather gets a little less intense, so I can go out with Link and dog without having to put on 12 layers of coats. And another project that I want to work on, sorry if this was, you know, not what you want to hear, but I had the idea today of putting together a Google Sheets spreadsheet of Congress members and Senate members, etc., and their names, their positions, their phone numbers, relevant topics that they're going to be voting on, and try to make a more organized way of figuring out who to call and what to say. Because as glad as we all are that shitstorm known as 2016 is over, something very terrible is going to happen on January 20th. And, you know, there's already terrible things starting to happen. You know, the swamp has been, what was it, John Oliver, I think, who said, you know, the swamp has been drained and is revealing like all the newts and the slugs and the leeches that are on the bottom of the bottom of the swamp. That's what we've got in our Congress coming up. You know, I absolutely don't want to, I don't want to just sit here and complain, you know, go on my Facebook and be like, oh, I hate Republicans, and then, you know, just stand by as the country goes further and further into shit. And, you know, I'm not going to change anyone's mind trying to talk to people on social media. You know, Trump cultists are what they are, and as has been proven time and time again, they'll believe what they want to believe, even in the face of sheer unadulterated fact. They'll go, I disregard your reality and choose my own. So rather than waste time trying to convince them, you know, the thing that those of us who want to stave off the end of the world as much as possible, what we have to do is cling to those of us who have at least some sanity and some decency, and, you know, try to lift each other up. And I mean, without getting into, you know, white feminism and that whole debacle, just try to be a good person. Try to be a good person. Try to, you know, if someone's struggling, offer help. If they say, no, I got this, then step away. But, you know, if someone, like if a woman is on a bus and some guy is like following her around, or vice versa, they really don't see the other nearly as often, you know, if you feel comfortable about it, and there's other videos and posts about this that you should go read, don't just take my word for it, but if you can, you know, make yourself available, like try to make contact with the woman or whoever's being pursued and be like, you know, you need me to do something? And if they say yes, or they look terrified, you know, step in the, what they recommend is don't engage with the aggressor, engage with the victim, and then just like go up to her and be like, oh hey, I haven't seen you, you know, like step in front, subtly but effectively, step in front of the aggressor. Or just, you know, obviously if you see a hate crime going on, if you can, stop it or call the police, but be aware sometimes the police add to the problem. It's, you know, just go Google that stuff, because I'm just going to step on all the toes if I try to address it right now. But yeah, so anyway, I want to put together that spreadsheet. And maybe make it a resource to lots of people and have us all collaboratively work on it, because I'm definitely not an expert in any of it. Oh, he's teething, by the way, so he's been very, very fussy. I haven't slept in days. That's a little bit of an exaggeration. And then various other projects. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna wrap this video up because he's getting fussy, and I'm sure I rambled on long enough. But I'm in Portland, yay Portland. And hopefully I can get back to making interesting videos, you know, as soon as the pod gets here and I get all my stuff back, so I can actually edit video and stuff like that again. And hopefully I can explore Portland and make some new friends and find new cool places to hang out and find other dogs for my dog to play with, because every time I go to the dog park there's no one there. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye. Now I gotta go press that button and gotta position you so you don't fall out, because he is very good at wriggling his way to freedom now. Don't die, Link, I love you.